weekly call. So as we all know, we are switching the calls from um, Tuesday to Wednesday. So Wednesday is the new day. So everybody hasn't gotten the full message yet. So as we get more the word out more, then everybody will start getting the message. So tonight it's going to be a pretty quick call. I got just one thing that I'm going to train on um, that I'm super excited about. And just a little major announcement. The first thing is we want to we're going to have a new Zoom ID for Wednesday nights. Okay. Wednesday night Zoom ID is going to change and we'll be sending this out. So every Wednesday you'll get this sent out on the Telegram. And the people that I direct text, I'm gonna be direct texting you. So you get this Zoom ID each week. Okay, but this is going to be the new Zoom ID. Dale Franklin, Dale, you can wave your pretty hand. Dale Franklin is going to be spearheading the trainings now on Wednesdays. Okay, and it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be rotating with like Vegas, myself, Dale, and other special guest trainers. So we're going to be doing a rotation. So the main thing that I want to announce tonight, okay, is the Thursday Zoom. Okay, so Thursday Zoom is the Fuel Factor X Africa presentation. Okay, that Dale and I do every single week, and it's 1 p.m. Eastern time, and then all the other times in the time zone. And when the time changes, all the other time zones still stay the same, but we change it to 2 p.m. So we update the flyer each time that the time zone change, but um, uh, that's the times and the links and everything for that. Okay. So what I want to talk about tonight is actually building the African market. Okay. Let me just share with you guys some slides or some pictures. Okay. And I want to give you a little history and a little bit about what's going to happen now. So basically, I'm going to be transitioning to 1000% focus on this African market. Okay. The Fuel Factor X. So this is where my main focus is going to be. And this is why Dale is going to be taking over the Wednesday. But like I said, it's going to be very transparent. I'm a train sometimes. Vegas is going to train. So it's going to be a rotation in trainers. So and there's no secret about it. I'm sure everybody on here knows it, and I think that everybody's seen, that I'm also focusing on my travel business, that I'm working on my travel club rather that I started, and I'm gonna be focusing on that and for the U.S. market, and then focusing on Africa for the Fuel Factor X and the MDC. And I'm gonna still be marketing all the MDC products as well. And I'm still all you guys upline. So if you have people in Africa, which I'm gonna train on now, how to recruit people in Africa. So let me just say this to you guys. And some of you guys were part of that journey before when we had the Fuel Factor X in Africa. So basically, here's what happened before. So first of all, I want you to know these just the crowd, some of the crowds, some of many big crowds that I spoke in front of, trained, did opportunity presentations in different countries. Matter of fact, let's go from top left. The top left is in Zimbabwe. That was at a hotel, and we had 3 presentations that day, and all 3 of them were packed. Okay. So as you can, and they charged to actually come to the presentation. It was like $10 or whatever to get in, and people were paying coming to the presentation. So I did 3 of them that day. Each one of them were jam packed, no seats available. The second picture on the left is me in Nigeria, and this place was massive. You can't really see it, but seats all the way around on the right side, all up on the left side as well. I would get a cough attack right when we start training. So that was a huge, huge event that was in Lagos, Nigeria. Okay. The third one down on the left is me in Cameroon. Okay. Cameroon, and this was at a Hilton Hotel. and the Hilton Hotel was really big, like the picture at the top. And the same thing, it was 3 presentations that day, jam packed. People were lined up all across the walls. As you can see, they gave me the African outfit to put on, but it was jam packed. So again, top left was Zimbabwe. The middle one on the left was Nigeria, Lagos. This was Cameroon, Africa. Okay. The top right was a place called Port Harcourt in Nigeria. Okay. So it was another part of Nigeria. That was a movie theater. So it had a big movie screen on the back. That right there is me and the owner of that company that had the fuel treatment that we actually are purchasing the fuel treatment from right now. Kurt Newman, still a really good friend of all of ours. But that place was so packed that we had to kick out anybody that was already in the business just so that the guests could fit in. Okay. And that it's a huge theater, so you don't even see all the seats and all that stuff. The picture below that is another location in Cameroon. Okay. So that was in Cameroon, Africa, a whole nother big place. As you can see, it was jam-packed. My name and my picture was up on billboards all over the place. It was incredible. Okay. So I just wanted to share that experience and for you guys to understand why I'm putting all my focus over in that African market. So let me just share a little bit more about the details. So Dale Franklin, myself, Sherry Ford had a massive team over in Africa, okay? Because all the stuff that I'm getting ready to teach you guys tonight, all of our team applied these concepts, okay? And Sherry's team really took the bull by the horns. Vegas had a massive team. Matter of fact, all that top left picture, that's all Vegas's team, okay? He had the sole, far as I know, the only team all in Zimbabwe was all Vegas, okay? So Sherry had a massive team in Nigeria. So a lot of the Nigeria folks there you see is Sherry's team. Oh, by the way, there was other parts of all these different places that I don't have pictures on the screen of. And then also the biggest market, crazy enough. So you see all these people, Ghana was bigger than all these markets. Okay. Ghana was the biggest market in the entire company. Okay. So just imagine if you see all these people in these markets, imagine what Ghana was. Okay. So really excited about what's going to happen. So just to share the story a little bit deeper, how it all transpired, there was this very young gentleman. He was around 18 years old at the time. You might have heard of him before. His name is Josh Wagle. Okay. Josh was reached out to by a gentleman by the name of Andrew Poe. Okay. And Andrew was, he lived in Ghana. And Andrew has a tremendous story. He was basically homeless, was about to commit suicide, tried to get assistance from his church, and they wouldn't give him any assistance. And he found Josh Wagle on the internet. Long story short, he wanted to get this fuel treatment, but he didn't have a job or anything. So he actually borrowed the money to get started by a close friend. And his close friend also joined the business with him. Now, his close friend had plenty of money. Okay, he was an entrepreneur. So long story short, Andrew Poe, I'm sure he's a millionaire right now. He made so much money. The average income over in Ghana at that time was like $300-400 a month, and he was making like $50,000 a month through the fuel treatment. And so I didn't have a team over there when it first started. Okay. What I did was I saw what was happening, starting to happen before it got blown out of proportion, blown up as big as it was. And I saw the growth that Andrew was having. So I piggybacked on it. Okay. So I said, okay, this Africa thing looked like it's going to be really big. So I started promoting Africa, recruiting people in the US, and teaching the team how to talk to people from Africa. All right. And I'm going to share that with you guys tonight. And for us to start recruiting people from Africa. All right. So that's what we did. And we started killing it. All right. And the story is so freaking cool. There's a guy under Shuri, his name is William Rucker. And Ruck, he had hit like the first rank of the company. Let's say it was 1K affiliate. And Ruck and his team, which was under Shuri, took to heart all of the training. They made little flyers and everything, and they started going to all the places where all the African people were, and they just start walking up to them and cold approaching them. Okay, and they were doing that, and then next thing you know, um, uh, Ruck's team blew up in 1 month. It blew up so much that the company's computer system couldn't handle all the applications we were putting in. So we had to start doing paper applications to sign all the people up in Africa. Okay. You remember all that, Dale? It was crazy. Now, Ruck, okay, so we had a convention shortly after. He had ranked up like 4 ranks in one. It was some kind of crazy. He went from zero to hero. He got all the way to diamond. Okay. And at that time, the highest position was blue diamond, one more level up. Okay. So I believe Shuri was a diamond, Ruck was a diamond. We was just giving out diamonds all over the place. All right. And it was just an amazing thing that happened. But that's what we're working on right now. Dell and I are putting in a lot of work to make that happen. So that's where I'm going to be putting all my focus into. Now, I am still everybody's upline, so I will still give you all the support you need when you need it and how you need it. But you just won't see me as much on these the weekly calls on Wednesdays. And there's another part to it too. Y'all know I help Alicia with her business, and her business Zooms, which I run, all right, are on Tuesday nights. Then this is why we had to move things to Wednesday, of course, randomly. And you haven't seen a lot of me because I have to help run her company Zooms, which are exact same time here on the West Coast. So anyway, so I just wanted to let you guys know that that's where my focus is going to be. And what I want to do is just share with you guys some notes that I wrote down because if we can get this thing right. All right, so let me tell you what's going on in Africa right now. There's a massive team growing, all right, and so under Robert Hollis, okay? The crazy thing is, I had reached out to one of my top leaders over there, and they were not interested. They're doing some real estate or something right now, so they were not interested. But their top leader, who I did not reach out to, I saw she joined on that other team, and she is ranking up like crazy. Last time I saw her, she had just joined, and she was already 10K affiliate. Man, I was kicking myself. So anyway, so what I want to do is just share with you guys some things, some tips to get in that market. Okay. And I want to take my hat off to Amy. I know she connected me with we did a 3-way WhatsApp chat, and her guest is supposed to get on tomorrow. All right, so we're super excited about that. But let me tell you guys, you're all one person away from a major breakthrough. One. Okay. And one person can completely change your life, but you might have to talk to 10 or 20 to get to that one person, right? So let me just give you guys a couple of notes, tidbits, and all that kind of stuff. So first of all, why does the Africa market take off so much? Okay, there's a couple of things. One is they're very business minded. All right, they all want to own a business. They're all serious when it comes to business. And then they're very open minded. Okay. I have not met one African that I talked to, all right, off the street, stranger, about an opportunity, and they don't listen. They all listen. Okay. And we all know Americans, if you say something about an opportunity, half of them going to mush you in your face as they're walking away, right? Not Africans. Okay. So what I typically do, this is my end. When I hear one of them talk, or if I see them, you typically can tell someone from Africa usually by looking, at their features or whatever, or if they start talking, I always ask them where they from. Okay. So let's just say, for example, I'm talking to someone. Hey man, I hear your accent. Where were you born? Okay. And if he says Nigeria, because we have a big Nigeria presence here in the U.S., might say Nigeria, then you could say, oh my God, my company's expanding over in Nigeria, and we're looking for people that want to make money that are entrepreneurs. Okay. And bam, then all from there, all you're doing is inviting them, or put them on the three-way call with myself, Dale, Vegas, Sherry, or somebody, and then we get them on the presentation. Okay. And I'm telling you, you do that enough times, you're going to have a breakthrough. Okay. And I'm speaking from experience. This is how all this kicks off. So there are a couple of things over in the African market I want you to understand about too. One is their fuel quality is much lower than ours. Okay. So, we got additives and all that kind of stuff here. Over there, man, you be amazed. All right. Their fuel quality is not great, number one. Number two, when a lot of their vehicles they get are secondhand vehicles from the US. If you meet some Africans, a lot of them they're going to tell you they're in the import-export business. All right. It's a million of them in import-export. Okay. And what they're doing is they take our beat up vehicles here, okay, and they ship them over there. So vehicles that won't pass emissions here and all that, they're over in Africa. Okay. So many of them have smoke coming out their vehicles and all kinds of stuff. So the quality of their vehicles, the quality of their fuel, okay, is both of them are a lot lower than ours. Okay. Hence, the product goes a long way over there. Okay. As a matter of fact, one time I was doing a presentation at a big church and it was packed, and somebody wanted to loudmouth us. And this guy, and it was when we first started the presentation, he started talking trash, and we gave him some product for him to put in his car and come back and give us a testimonial. This is when the presentation started. Okay. He put the product in. We started the presentation. We're talking to the crowd. He gets back. He comes in and he goes, everybody need to buy that product. Okay. It was a massive church. All right. And this guy comes back. That product is incredible because their cars start running better, more horsepower, cleaner, the engine's idling lower. I mean, all that kind of stuff, y'all. So there are so many reasons why this product is so successful over there. Another one is that every home in Nigeria they run by generators. Okay, so we have a lot of generators over there. Matter of fact, one of our guys he's closed like 2 or 3 corporate deals with colleges and places like that for their generators. Okay, so that's another thing. So they call them gens, right? If your gen will last 2 or 3 days longer or whatever. Then the other thing is they use it for cooking oil, okay, or cooking fuel, whatever you want to call it. They do it for that as well. So they use fuel in a lot of different ways, okay, and so the product, their testimonials are unbelievable. All right, so that's some of the reasons why. Now another thing is they're all hungry for success. All right, plain and simple. They're a lot hungrier. We over here, we get public assistance and all that kind of stuff. They ain't getting that over there. All right, so they're very hungry for success, and this product is there. Then another thing is their fuel costs. All right, remember this: their income is probably 10 times lower than ours, but their fuel costs more than ours. All right, per gallon. They sell it by the liter, but if you add it to a gallon, they usually pay more than we pay per gallon. Okay, so imagine that. And then because again, the differences in income, if someone has, let's say, 10 foil packs and they sell them each and make $1 profit, all right, imagine that, an extra $10 in their pocket. Okay, and again, the average income might be $400 or $500, but the lower income people ain't making that. All right, so $10 is probably more closer to, for us, like $1,000 here, okay, or equivalent to it. So it's a big deal, right? All right, so let's talk about I mentioned already that you may have to go through a lot of numbers. Now, a lot of times when we meet them online, a lot of them, okay, and I'm gonna tell you, I call it the kiss of death. Okay, they want you to pay for them to get started. all right? Because a lot of them just don't have the money, okay? Don't do it. I mean, I don't know. I've never seen it work, okay? And I've had plenty of people try it, okay? Ain't that right, Dale? We've all had people to try it, all right? Vegas, all right? We all seen it, and it never works out when you pay their way, right? They got to have some skin in the game, okay? So you want to make sure that they, put their own money up, and we go from there, okay? Um, okay. Again, if you know anybody, you may have co-workers, you may have some friends who got friends from Africa. All right. There's always that 6 degrees of separation. Everybody knows somebody who knows somebody from Africa. Okay. So approach those folks. Trust me, it'll be worth it. All right. Now, let's talk about really quickly that pre-approved or hottest markets, let's call it, in Africa right now. Those 3 markets are Nigeria, Ghana, and South Africa. Okay, those are already sanctioned by the company, so therefore they have their websites up. The product can ship there. Okay, now typically the Nigeria office can ship the product anywhere in Africa. Okay, so if you have people in other countries, I know Dale is probably pre-launching 4 or 5 other countries. As a matter of fact, one of his most successful teams are in Kenya right now. Okay, so just because they're not on the list, their website's not up, don't mean that we can't start getting them kicked in. Okay, so we'll give you all the support you need to make that happen as well. I know we have a couple of people who have people that ordered product in different countries. Okay, so with that being said, Dale, do you want to add anything else to the African market? And oh, by the way, so we know this Zoom, and Dale does a Mondays with Dale, which is a specific training for Africa, and it's really cool because he has different trainers each week, and I mean all kinds of different trainers for all kinds of different ways. But he also holds a leadership call also for Africa as well. So Dale, if you got a couple of words before we wrap this up, man, feel free.
Sure. Thanks, Chris. I'll just be real brief, but you're absolutely right. The market in Africa right now is exploding. I have a whole team of leaders that are in Mombasa, Kenya this week, the rest of this week, and they got there this morning at 5 o'clock this morning. They were tired because they'd been traveling all night, and they couldn't get any rest because people, knowing they were there, just kept calling and calling and calling. Goes, I want to be in, I want to be in, I want to be your first people you talk to, this type of thing. So there is a lot of energy going right now. I've developed mine primarily in Kenya, but we've just opened up Uganda, we've just opened up Tanzania, and they're both ready to explode. And as you said, Chris, what we have right now, you and I have our Thursday call. In the afternoon, it's in the afternoon here in the United States. It's in the evening in Africa, and we do that every Thursday. And I tell my teams over there, you go to that call, and you bring your prospects, and then once they join, then you get them to watch. Sometime between then and Monday, you get them to watch Josh Swagle's half hour kind of orientation video from the back office. And then you bring them on to my call on Mondays with Dale, which is the same time as the Thursday call, but just on Monday. And we do orientation and training for your new people. We do training for your for the people who've been in for a while. We keep people up to date on everything that's going on. And then on Wednesdays, same time on Wednesdays, we do basically a leadership call, which is also a Q&A for anybody. We call that the call that anybody can come to, and there's nothing you can't do there. You can ask questions. You can, it's a free space. It's a safe space where you can come and say anything you want to say. So that's what we're doing. And it's there's, like anything else, when you're opening up a brand new market, sometimes we run into a few snags. But especially for East Africa, we've got it down. We've got the government stuff pretty well done. As of tomorrow, we'll have the Uganda stuff all done. So we're ready to kick this thing into the next gear. And I'll tell you, we know what we did in 2008, 2009. Okay, back then, this last thing I'm going to say, back then, fuel prices were not as high as they are now, but we're selling Fuel Factor X for the exact same price now that we did back then, and people made millions. So history is going to repeat itself. It's just whether it's going to repeat itself with you or with somebody else. We're going to the top. We want you with us, but if you're not coming, we're going to go anyway. So back to you, Chris.
All right. Thanks so much, Dale. So yes, guys. So I mean, just think of this, and I'm just a visionary, right? So going back to Vegas team, right, the top left-hand corner, and again, the team was massive, and just imagine you having a team like that, all yours, and it all happened from Vegas recruited a young lady here in Maryland, believe it or not. She was in Waldorf, right, from Zimbabwe. Go figure. All right. So, guys, the possibilities are endless. If you have any contacts, need three-way calls, hit me up and let's build this thing out. All right. About to have another call for tax, so time to end time to end the call. Anybody have any questions or anything about that market? You can unmute yourself if you want.
Hey, Chris.
Yes, sir.
I just put in the chat, I don't know if people saw that. Her team was signing up about 100 people a day. Can you imagine you looking at your back office and you see 100 people a day signing up? And it went for months. She said that basically the government was stop. They had to find other places to have meetings. They just couldn't, if they ran a meeting 3 times a day, it would fill. 8 times a day, it would fill. It was like there was not enough space ever. I was like, I mean, that just blows my mind. This saying it out loud, Dale, I hear myself.
Well, you remember Vegas that when Ghana took off, they went from 9 people to 38,000 affiliates in 11 months.
38,000.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Wow.
So
Wow.
y'all see why we're putting a lot of effort and energy into that market. And again, if you guys need me, let's crank this thing up. Man, I'm excited about the little changes that we're tweaks and that we're making to do this. All right. So if there are no questions, dang, 100 a day, man. I want to tell y'all something. That comp plan wasn't nothing like this comp plan. All right. If we were in this comp plan back then, I can't even imagine the type of money we would have made. This comp plan is just a whole lot more generous than that one was. All right. So anyway, everybody have a great night. Love y'all. See you back next Wednesday. Bye-bye.